Well, so we will just put our foam roller to the side for now. We'll do a couple roll downs, get a little mobility first, maybe some down dogs and some stretches, and then we can play with our friend, the foam roller. So that might be really fun. All right, so stand with your feet at the back of the mat. Take a breath, just relax for a moment. Yes. Bring your shoulders up as you inhale, and then let them fall. Yeah, do that again. And from here, imagine that you're right against the wall behind you. Nod your head, feel the length in the back of the neck, and then really slowly feel that you're peeling down. Slow. Like I just dropped my head. So slow, real slow. Like you feel like if you had a pencil on the wall behind you, it's slowly rolling down your back. Pull up your abs all the way down. Find your point where it feels good, where you just hang. Bend the knees a couple times, get some length. To let your arms hang. If they touch the floor, just kind of rest them or let them hang. Yeah, a little bend. Now soften the knees a hair. Pull your abs in real slow. Tuck your butt under. Feel like you're peeling up that wall. Real slow. Lengthen the legs. Keep drawing up. Shoulders, head. Take the arms up. Rotate palms forward. Bend the elbows and lift your sternum. Squeeze them all the way down and lift and draw your tail under. Inhale up. Let the arms fall. Nod your head again. Let it literally hang. And now peel real slow. Feel every little bone, like you're stretching between every single one. And when you hit the bottom, hang here, bend the knees a little bit, and just feel that your body is really weightless and heavy hanging down. Heavy and weightless. I don't know if that is oxymoron there. And then from here, keep your knees bent, but straighten your right leg. Then bend that knee and straighten the left leg. And bend, exhale right. And bend, abs in left. And then one more right. And left. Soft knees, abs in as you slowly roll all the way. Lift your chest. Let's take our arms back. This time they'll reach back, interlace. Lift your chest. Take a nice breath right into your chest and shoulders. And as your arms are back, let your right ear fall over to your right shoulder. Slowly bring your head up and exhale, left ear. Breathe. And back up and release. So let's roll down, make our way out to a down dog position. So I'm gonna go a little faster this time as you roll down. Find your floor, make your way all the way out. Spread your fingers apart and reach your chest back to your thighs. If you want to pedal the knees a few times, find your point where it feels good. Sometimes you have to move through it. I know I do. Pedal, pedal. And then settle down wherever you feel comfortable. Take a deep breath, pressing your heels towards the floor. Pull up your abs. Nice deep breath. Again, inhale, fill your lungs up. And then exhale. One more time, big breath. And exhale. Keep scooping up below belly, holding right here. Take your right leg, reach it back just a little bit, just maybe a toe taps behind you. And then we're gonna shift forward into a little plank, lift that leg, and then come back and tap it. So just moving through your shoulders, you can readjust your hands to go a little more forward if you want. So it's just coming from a single leg, a little single leg, and the leg is just in that little hover. Abs in one more time. Meet me back in down dog, replace that foot. Other leg just a little reach behind, maybe big toe still down, and then come forward. Keeping that leg low and forward. Abs in. And again. Couple more times. Last one. Replace that foot. Lean back, really press through the heels, and then bend the knees, drop the knees down, find a child's pose. Whatever version you want basic. If you need to round up more and get more of that stretch through your entire back. And then slowly come on up. All right, grab your friend over here. All right, so let's start with it out in front of you. You're gonna have a seat and then bring it underneath your knees. So make sure you have space behind you because we're gonna lift our hips up on top of the roller. So hold on to it, carefully roll back. Once your head's down, walk your feet into that roller close and then lift your hips and then roll the roller right underneath your pelvis. So once you get it there, hold on to each end of the roller and then find your shoulder blades that they're nice and flat. Your collarbones are open. Sink it down into the floor a little bit with your ribs. Pull your waist in and then press your sacrum into that roller. So you're not in a tuck, right? You're finding neutral. So hold each end and then rock your knees side to side right across your hips. And it should feel like a really good massage across your sacrum and each top of the hip. It's not on your butt cheeks, or it's on the hip, and it's not on the low back. So I want you to find that spot where it should be, but also get this nice little stretch because this feels yummy. As you go side to side, it's like, oh, hello, massage those hips. All right, find your center right on that sacrum, hold the ends, draw your abs in and bring your right leg to tabletop. Knee over hip, it's a little deceptive, and then exhale, left leg follows. Squeeze them together tight, flex your feet. All right, from here, pressing into the ends of the roller so it doesn't move. Inhale, legs fall to the right. So left hip lifts, press left shoulder down, and then exhale, use your waist to come back. Upper girdle's nice and quiet, anchor down, but not shoved, right? Exhale back, just kind of melting into the mat. Side to side, take your breath to move your legs. Low belly, inhale over and exhale back. Good. One more time. And finish on your opposite side you started with. And back. So you might start moving a little bit. So you always, I know I always have to scooch a little bit because as I move on the roller. So find center again, flex your feet. We're back in tabletop. We're going to add to that one. So inhale, legs fall to the right, hold. Exhale, extend both legs, reach one. Inhale, bend, back to center. Over to the left. Exhale, extend. Inhale to bend. And back. Let's do that again to the right. Exhale, reach, bend. Center again to the left. Exhale. And bend. One more time, let's go to our right. Extend. Good. Bend. Exhale back. One more time to the left. Extend. Bend. And hold it back into your middle. So from here, extend your legs to the ceiling. Point your toes. Now, watch that your feet aren't over your face. Make sure they're over your hips. Think of a scissor. So pull your right leg towards your face as the left one lowers, but try to move them slow and in unison, that they're going the exact same distance from each other, and then slowly bring them right back to start. Do that again. Left leg now. As left leg comes forward, right goes down, go slow. Now make sure your hips don't twist and bring it up because you'll notice the bottom leg will always go lower, but try not to let that happen. Think of reaching longer, like you're reaching out of your hip socket and draw your abs in and back. So you're getting a good stretch, but also engaging through your abs, squeezing from your hips, like you're narrowing your pelvis, and up. Again, exhale, nice big scissor, and back. I love doing scissors and bike on the roller because you feel like you can get that bigger range where normally in traditional you can't. One more time on the right, but hold it there. Now squeeze your inner thighs more and feel like you could narrow your hips and you're gonna pulse your legs away from each other. Exhale, pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring them back together. Then the left leg forward, right leg reaches long, long, long. Watch you don't sink your low back. Here we go. Pulse in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze your butt a little. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring them right back up. All right, we're going to go into bike. So right leg split first. Hold. Now, the back leg, the left leg, you're going to keep that thigh bone where it is. Bend the knee and see if you can get your toes towards the floor. Now slide that knee in towards your chest as you lower the right straight leg down and go into the scissor pause. Right now it should be in a left leg split, both legs straight. Yes, squeeze your butt. Now engage your right hamstring to bend that knee, find the floor, slide it on the exhale and scissor pause. Always pause in the scissor. Bend the left knee, find the floor if you can, and then squeeze. I want you to try to activate and scissor split the hamstring. Bend right knee, find the floor, pull that knee in as the left leg goes down, and exhale, split. Little quicker, slide, exhale, split. Slide, exhale, split. Squeeze your butt in that hamstring. Boom. Squeeze it, and boom. One more. End on the left leg split, and hold. Now we're going to reverse it. Without the thigh bone on the left looping, bend that knee, squeeze it down. Now thread the needle and scissor. Bend the right knee and scissor. See again, if you can activate your hamstring, like you're pushing down on something with your foot to get that hamstring curl, and then you exhale, split. Inhale to bend, exhale to scissor. Inhale, bend, exhale. Inhale, bend. Keep your butt narrow because that's where it starts to go. Our butt will start to just do nothing. And I want you to squeeze it. And one more time, left. Exhale, end on the right. Bring both legs up to the ceiling. Good. Legs are right over our hips. Inhale, open legs out and close them back. Nothing crazy, just straight line on the ceiling, right over our hips. And that opposite split. And back, nice. Now, same with this one. When you open, it's only as far as you're keeping containment around your hips. It's not to the point where it's like, oh, I flop into my flexibility if I can go way out there, right? One more time, abs in and back. Stay straight up. Now, only one leg at a time. Lower the right leg towards the floor, so straight down, and exhale it up. Now the left, don't move the right. Now as low as it can go without bending the knee, exhale up. Reach long and watch again your pelvis. Exhale up and nothing is moving. Inhale, exhale. Okay, you can stick to single leg or go to double leg. Inhale down, exhale up. Now this is where it gets trickier if you go to double leg, right? You gotta be careful. So if you're like, that's not happening today, then go to single leg. You can play with it. Maybe don't go super low. If you want, inhale down, exhale, use the belly, squeeze the thighs. Give me about 3 more. Squeeze your butt still. I know it's hard. There's a point where it's hard to squeeze our butt. It's like it doesn't want to anymore. 2 more. 1 more time. So now I want you to go to your low point where you can hang out there and then open, close from there. Open and squeeze. 1 and 2. Squeeze the inner thighs. 3. Pull your abs in. 4 and 5. Squeeze tight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open, hold only as wide as you have that control. Squeeze your butt. Little baby circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze in inner thighs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze. Bend the knees in to your chest. Shake out your feet a little bit. Set one foot down at a time. Stay here. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Hold the left hand on the roller so it doesn't move around. Slide your left leg out onto the floor. Make sure it's resting, your left leg. Yes. So you want to try to get it as long of a reach as you can go, but not let your foot come off the ground. And now watch your back isn't arching as you hug the right knee in. Take a deep breath. You should be feeling that opening in the front of that left hip. And breathe. So what I like to do too is the knee I'm hugging in, I like to open and close it a little bit. And I feel the stretch slightly different around my hip. But again, it's where it feels good for you. And I'm moving around and breathe. Keep anchoring the left leg. That feels good. You can even draw little circles around as you do it in that hip socket. All right, slide the left foot and plant that foot down and then slide your right one. Readjust if you need to on the roller. We'll get off of it in a second. Hug your left knee in and then slide out. Because I know being on here after a while in certain positions gets a little cranky. Anchor down the right leg and then we can move around if we want to. Whew. Breathe into it. You know where it feels best if you need to hang out on a spot and just breathe into that. And then carefully slide your right foot flat, left foot back down. Lift your hips up and roll that baby away as you slowly roll down. All right, once your butt is down, give your knees a hug for a sec and just breathe into your low back because it's a lot having our hips up for a while. I do not feel like it just kind of flattens out everything. I don't know. Makes it feel better. All right, place your feet on top of the roller. All right, double check that it's even, because it tends to slide and that you're even. So feet close together but not touching, so maybe 2 inches apart. Wrap your arches around, like you're kind of cupping over that roller, and just kind of massage your foot a little bit back and forth, kind of feel it. And then find that nice wrap. Arms are down. We're going to do a neutral bridge and then articulate on the way down, okay? Arms press down, exhale, press straight up into a bridge, and then slowly articulate down one bone at a time, all the way back down. Inhale to neutral, exhale, bridge straight up, and then articulate real slow. Every little bone, taking your time, watching the roller is not moving away from you either, and not shoving with your heels either. Exhale, press straight up. The other trick, you want to watch your toes don't turn out and articulate, because that is our tendency, because this gets to be lots of hamstrings. So yeah, watch your feet are wrapping on top of it. Here, yes, there you go. Lift straight up. Yep. Squeeze your inner thighs, articulate down. That's what I notice a lot of us, we start to roll out or turn our feet out on this, and then articulate down. Yeah, it's like our body. It's like, I don't want to go there. I'm going to start moving around and moving my feet. One more time, lift in that bridge. I'll stay up this time and give me tiny butt lifts up. 1, 2, 3, abs in. 4, 5, press through the inside arch. 7, 8, 9, 10, articulate all the way down. All right, start to roll that roller out until your legs are straight and the roller is on your ankles. Yeah, legs close together if not touching. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. We're gonna do a slow roll up. So inhale, lift head and shoulders, abs in real slow, pull belly back. Start to give yourself a nice little stretch forward. Take a breath and then exhale, let's slowly make our way down. One bone at a time. Good. Again, inhale. Draw the abs in, pull them back, pull them back. Good. Nice big stretch. And slowly, all the way. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Draw your abs in. Yes, slow. Try to find that sticky spot and then pause there and breathe into it. You know, that sticky spot that doesn't like to move, right? Because we're like, oh, I'll forgo the sticky spot and just thrust myself back up first. Slow. And let's come all the way up. All right, go ahead, swing your legs around. Let's go ahead and bring this baby back and then place your shins on top of it. Okay, so little deep ab work. Think of it, it's like on the reformer where you're pulling your knees underneath you. So you're gonna have your hands onto the mat. Shins are on. I have it right below my knees, not on my kneecap, it's right below it. And then float your feet up off the floor. Okay, from here, first off, just to get the movement, you're gonna exhale, just roll it in like a little shin massage. And this should feel like really like it's doing nothing. You're just kind of going back and forth on your shins. Okay, so to really get your abs fired up though, it's almost like a tiny pike tuck. So as you roll it in towards your ankles, tuck and start to pull your knees up into your chest and lift your butt and then go back out to neutral. That's when you get the work. Exhale, you pull up, 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 up. Not pleasant if you have a bruise on your shin, as I do. Exhale, pull up. I forgot about that until I started doing it. Rebel's head ran into my shin. Exhale. And made a nice little knot on my shin. Exhale, abs in, lift, and up. So it is like a pike, right? Again, exhale, pull up, 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 and back. One more time. Exhale, up, 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 up. Back. Come back for a second. Go onto the toe, the ball of your feet, and sit back so you get a little flexion in the toes. All right, so we can repeat that same thing, but get obliques. All you have to do, take your hands to one side, feel that same pike, and then we'll do like 5, and then we'll go to the other side and do 5. Okay? All right, here we go. So find it, lift the feet up, walk both hands to the right, and do a little turn. So you're crunching your right shoulder, and make sure your legs are staying in the center, and then exhale, pull up, and inhale back. Watch that right shoulder. Remember, you're pushing the floor away and lifting up when you're doing it. 2 more. And back. 1 more. And back. Come to center. Walk your hands to the other side and do a little twist. Crunch. Watch your legs. You can look over your shoulder. Here we go. Exhale. So if you look over that left shoulder a little bit, you can see your left foot a little. Yeah, watching that your feet don't swing to the right. Yeah, and pull. Nice, it's super deep when you get into this one. 1 more. And exhale. And back. Come back onto the toes. Give your wrists a little breather because it gets risky. That one in particular. So, on the opposite end, bring your roller to the front of your mat. We'll do some of these things up. You're going to go on your forearms. What we're going to do, forearms out to plank. We're going to first off find our plank. Once we find it, we're going to do like a little lap pull. Make sure we're not sinking. Yeah, is that going to be okay? Should I try? If not, I'll try to even hold. And because if it starts to bug, right? Okay. So we could even just go down, find it first. So what I would do, push down into it, pull your scapula a little bit apart and try to fire these muscles right here. Find that engagement first and then step out 1 leg at a time.
You could just hold it for now. Like, that's probably it today. If not, it's a small roll on the forearms. It's just a pull back and forth. It's not very big because we can't really go that big on our forearms. And pull and pull. Or just hold. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Child's pose with your arms over. Get a really big chest opening. Open the knees. Reach your arms. I like to have more of my forearms on the roller so I can get a bigger stretch down into the floor. Yeah, reaching the arms long. All right. Hopefully that was okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's a tricky one. And then trying to find those muscles there, you know. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead. Turn our baby this way where you're gonna make sure, because what happens with these rollers, they tend to want to go to one spot and always try to find that spot. And let it kind of settle. Then you're gonna sit on one end and pull back to lay on one of the back. Water. So make sure head is on. So I would start way at the front. You can roll down however feels good. And find it. So I always like to make sure that we're in the right spot. So find your shoulder blades. Make sure the back of your head is on, looking straight up. Find your shoulder blades here. Hands are resting lightly, and then feel all the way down. It's all the way down your butt crack here. Okay, so connecting into the roller, I really don't like to have any space on our back on the roller, and that doesn't mean shove it down, because that's not what I mean by that. I want you to find your neutral, but if you rub your hands down your roller and your back, there really isn't a space, because especially when we start lifting our legs and doing things, if it starts to arch up, it really pulls in your back. Okay, but now walk your feet towards each other. The closer your feet are together, if you can touch them, the more work on balance. So you'll see if your legs are completely touching, it works your balance more. If you're like, not today, open them up a little bit. All right, so focus on the ceiling. On your exhale, bring your right arm to the ceiling and rotate that palm inward. And then all you're gonna do, keeping just that arm up, is reach it to the ceiling so the shoulder blade actually comes up, and then let it draw back down naturally. Again, reach it up, let it draw down. One more time, reach it up, let it draw down, and let it settle right there. Abs and left arm comes up. If you can keep both arms up, great. If you need to put the right one down, you can. If not, left arm reaches up to the ceiling and settles down. Lift it, settle down. One more time, reach and settle. So now we're nice and comfy here. Scissor arm. So right arm reaches back overhead as the left arm goes down by your left hip. Stretch through the fingers and then switch. So as you're moving your arms back and forth in this scissor position, you might notice one arm moves better than the other arm. It reaches back further. Again, let's think about our back not lifting off the roller either, because that's what it'll want to do. So finding a little mobility in our shoulders here. This is always an awesome thing to do after a long day. Let's just lay on the roller. One more time. And then finish with the left arm back, right arm down. And then let's bring both arms to the ceiling. Okay, find your shoulder blades again. If you always need to go back to back, reach and drop, you can always do that. Okay, palms are facing each other, legs still together. We can open arms out like a letter T. And then exhale, close them back. Inhale. Now, I like to do some of these with actual hand weights too, which is always awesome. Right now, we're just getting more mobility, but if you want to work more strength too, if you have hand weights, this is always a great thing to incorporate. But if you're only looking for more of the mobility, but it's sometimes really fun to do. Inhale. And exhale one more time. It's like our puppetry. I wouldn't go all the way to the floor though if I had the hand weights. I would stop to a hover, not past my shoulders, just to protect your shoulders. Okay, hold right here. From here, rotate your palms face forward now. Bend the elbows wide, like you're going to a little bowl pose. Don't worry if they don't touch the ground, and then shoot them straight back up. You might feel some little bumps. I know I do as I go along. Oh, maybe that needs to be massaged there. And then bend wide. But whenever you do these movements and then you get off the roller, everything feels so much better. Unless you have a super sensitive spine, then this is not comfortable to some people. It's like, this is killing my spine. Gotta toughen up the spine. One more time. No, I don't suggest doing that. So now bend and go as low as you can go without shrinking. And what I mean by that is if you force your elbows down, they start to come closer into the roller, and then we're kind of defeating the purpose. Let your elbows just feel like someone is putting some weight there and just melting them down, and breathe. Maybe they end up towards the floor, maybe they don't, maybe that's about it. But wherever they go, hold there, make sure your back isn't arching. Now, without moving your elbow really, it's gonna rotate them. You're gonna rotate your arm back into that more fallen goal pose, back behind you. And then you can go forward. So you go both directions. So the forearms are moving back behind you, and then even forward. Reason being is it's working that rotator cuff. Different parts of the rotator cuff, right? And you might notice one side is crankier. And it might be crankier in one position than the other one. Maybe it's cranky as you go back, but then when you go forward, it's not bad, or vice versa. So what I would do is do this a few times, and then where it kind of gets cranky, hold it there. And see if with your breath, a few deep breaths, you can let it relax a little bit and get more of an opening. Now you should be feeling an opening through your chest too, right? Upper part of your chest. Big breath. And then now go back and forth again and just see how that feels, that front goalpost to the back goalpost, and see how if it changed at all or how you feel it. Feel a little bit more mobile, maybe so. Then bring the fingertips back to the ceiling. Extend the arms up towards the ceiling. Lower the hands all the way to the floor. Rest your palms and even your elbow a little bit, just real light onto the mat. Draw your abs in. You're going to exhale, bring your right leg to tabletop. Then the left leg to follow. Make sure when you lift that second leg, you don't push your tummy, you don't lift your back up. You want to suck it in. All right, from here, you keep your head down. If you feel like, I'd like to lift my head up, you're welcome to lift your head and shoulders and slide your hands down and lift up. But you don't want to push back. You want to press the palms. And we're going to toe tap one at a time. Inhale down, exhale up. So inhale, exhale up. Like I said, if this is necky, it bugs you, keep your head down. Just focus on anchoring into the roller and watching the shoulders don't start creeping up. So that's what they're going to want to do. And down, exhale up, down, abs are in. And lift. Give me one more right, and then one more left. Hold here. Flex your feet. Turn out your toes and knees, abs, and now let's dip both down and up. Now if you want to have that lift, go for it. Inhale down, exhale up, but like I said, no part of your back is lifting off that roller. Feel that connection. Exhale. Because that defeats the purpose if we let our feet go so low and it pulls on our low back. Last two, relax your shoulders. One more. Close the legs together. Lower one foot down at a time. Have the feet slightly separate. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. On your exhale, we're going to curl head and shoulders up just off our shoulder blades. Exhale, curl up like you did, but now let's support our head. So hold on to it. From here, lift up an inch and then slightly down. Exhale. finding again our neutral, so we really feel where it is on the roller. And give me 3 more here. And 3, 2, hold up on 1. From here, with your feet, lift your right heel, set it down. Then your left. I want you to try to graduate to trying to get that foot a little bit off the floor. And up. You can always do this with the head down as well, because it's just a baby lift, focusing on our abs, lifting. But it's a lot harder because we don't have the support of our hands here. They're behind our head. Now, if we want to, we can graduate up a little bit more and a little bit more, especially with the head and shoulders up. Exhale. And up. One more time, right, left. Lay the head down for a second. Get your bearings. We're gonna go back up, bring right leg up, and see if we can extend it out and in 5 times, set it down and then another 5 times. Okay, here we go. Exhale, you can reach, hands back. Here we go, right leg up, flex that foot. Exhale, extend, back. And forward. You can really see what's happening on that lower half where your stability is. 2, 1, replace that foot. Left leg up, here we go. And 1. The lower is harder. 2, you can always go head down. 3, 4, 5. Replace, lower the head down. Take a breather. Doing okay? Yeah, good? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I got one more. It's gonna be straight legs. So we'll come back up. The one leg will be straight and it's gonna do a lower lift, right? I can always go down, but here you go. Arms up, exhale, curl it up, hands back, right. Go down and up. 1, little harder, woo. And 2, and 3. Low, left leg. 4, you gotta squeeze into it. 5, replace that foot. Left leg up. Ooh, here we go, down and up. 1 and 2. Use your inner thigh and press down through that right foot. 2 more. 1 more. Replace it. Woo, lay on down. Hello. Okay, now we're gonna roll off this thing, but I'm gonna have us do a roll up to do it. If you're like, nope, just roll up to one side. But what I'll do to give myself some assistance is walk my feet forward. So it's a longer angle, but keep the feet flat and have them a little apart. If the legs are together, it's harder. Reach the arms up and back. Inhale, lift head and shoulders. Exhale. Ooh, let's see if we can come up. I know it's not easy. And now let's see if we can go down. Woo. The thing is the feet. And you'll see how your body will start to like, woo. It'll navigate itself. It's like, no, I want to go this way. But what leg do you have to anchor more? You're going to notice how one leg shifts. So you might have to ground. I try to really push down my feet into the ground as evenly as possible, because I notice, especially on the way down, one starts to go. Inhale and exhale. Ooh, you get to that one point. Yeah. One more time, down and up, and then we'll get off this thing like this. Inhale, exhale. And then get off the back. It's like, whew, enough already. Okay, so this is one of my favorite openings, because I find that, especially if you do Pilates, you know, and you're doing stuff with your arms and holding your upper girdle, all those muscles through your rotator cuff and all those ones that support your upper girdle get super tight. It's part of the rotator cuff too. So this is why I love this exercise. I like it too because it's not really exercise, more of a stretch. I feel like it gives me some nice rotation. So stack your legs, and then I'm on my left side. You can go whatever side you want to start on. And I'm going to find kind of armpitish area, but really when I say armpit, I'll show you where I'm talking about. It's like right more under my, kind of under my scapula, around and a little up. So it's like here is where I have the roller. So it's kind of armpit.
and you're going to move around in it. So stack your legs, bring them forward, almost, they're not quite 90 or a tabletop, little back. Okay, so what we're going to do first is hands behind your head, and you're just going to roll up, down, and it's not going far. I mean, I'm moving like an inch and an inch, and find kind of, you might find a cranky spot, or that cranky spot might be just where you are. It's like, oh no, it's cranky right there. So, oh, that's the good side. Ooh, okay, so just massage up, down first. Up, down, like this. See how I'm going like this? Right, I know. Ooh, that tells you something. If this is painful already, ooh, okay, I know, breathe. So the key too is this elbow, not to be so much in, I mean, you can move it like this and kind of massage, but you don't want it resting on the ground, right? We have to have it up. Okay, here's the next part. You roll forward, right? Keep the knees stacked, and then you exhale, open out as far as you can, trying to keep the legs stacked, and then do it again. Roll forward, and if you found your cranky spot, just kind of go with it. If you didn't, you might have to adjust. Like I have to adjust to find that cranky spot. No wonder I'm in pain. I go into this and it's like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. And I suggest doing this like 5 times. So do the up, down, and then open, close 5 times. Because if you stay too long, and you can find different increments and do it a few more times. If you stay too long on the cranky spot, it's going to get even crankier. So I always do it to the point where it's just, okay, I moved it a little, maybe I have to massage it up and down, and then let's give it a break. And maybe you do it again tomorrow. Let's see how this side goes. It's not so mysterious. Like, whoa, that makes sense, right? Yeah, I know. This is not a crowd pleaser. I mean, like I said, it is my favorite one, but it's not a crowd pleaser because it hurts. All right, once you find your spot, up, down, kind of massage. See, I'm going like this direction, not moving back and forth, just up, down, right? Because our muscle fibers, you want to go in both directions of, how the fascia is. And, we have connective tissue, we have the muscle fibers, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. And then once you kind of find the kind of cranky spot, then you can go forward in a big exhale. Oh, interesting. Right. There's always that one side that's just like, what the heck is happening? And like I said, I play with this. I'll do it. And if like, okay, that's not so bad, I might find a new spot and rub on it and kind of massage it a little bit and then roll back and forth. Because like I said, the rotator cuff, it's a hard area to get on your own. And this is just, there's something about this that honestly, when I do it, my shoulders feel so much better after. And my back, because you're getting a little rotation as long as you have nothing going on in your lumbar. There's a gentler version that doesn't use a foam roller, but it's that open book one. But I like this. I mean, you can even have your arm out and go up, down like this. I can feel it differently. Up, down around my shoulder, where it gets a little. And then there's one more that is not a crowd pleaser either. But it's a common complaint where we get sore right here. A lot of people are like, why does it hurt right here? And again, rotator cuff, when you're doing these movements here, like, oh, that's all rotator. So that one, I'll show you where you can see. I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to come on my right hip, kind of how you were, but then I'm going to take my right hand at the back of it and lay with it lengthwise, and then take my other hand in the front and then roll forward and back right at the front of that shoulder, right? And it's up to you how much pressure you put on it, how much weight you put on there. And you might, again, find a spot and kind of roll with it. Make sure you're not too mushed up or anything. But that's another spot that gets really cranky. You know, I know for me when I'm going back and forth, I feel this little like bump, right? There's lots of things going on in there, right? Whew. Again, don't spend like hours on it. And then other side. Right in there. Such a weird spot, you know. You can feel it when we go back, but this massages it a little bit. One side is probably crankier than the other, or maybe it's not so bad. I know it kind of gets me. Oh, yeah, that one is gnarly. Ooh. All right, so now this is more of a crowd pleaser. This is always my favorite thing to do, is have a seat on your bottom, place the roller right under your shoulder blades, hold your hair or whatever you have, because it likes to, you can even tie your shirt or whatever, because the roller likes to pull. And then from here, lift your butt and roll. Go down to only the bottom ribs and then come all the way up to the top of your shoulders, not your neck, but top of the shoulders. And what I like to always do first is do the full range first, and then kind of do a small, slow increment. So I'll go all the way up, all the way down to the lower ribs. And again, appropriate shirts help, not ones that have strings and that push everywhere. So then after you go up and down, maybe you find that spot, maybe it's right between your shoulder blades, and you pull them apart and you just roll up, down, and take a few deep breaths into it. And then maybe you go down another increment and up, down. Sometimes you get little pops, and sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. But make sure you're doing some deep exhales. And then come where you have it right at your, like your shoulder blades kind of hook over it, and then tuck, hold your head, push your head back into your hands, then inhale, give a little upper back extension, but make sure you're tucking, no arch, and then up. So this is an awesome way to do a little upper back extension where we always need to go without any, you know, compression or anything, but watch your low back. Feels good. Inhale as you go back, and exhale up. One more. And back. And then if you want to, especially if you get headaches at all, or your neck, it's not on, I mean, your neck is over it, but what you do is you have your head, you know, it's right on your neck, but it's your occipital bones. And what you do is let your head go side to side, and you have all these pressure points right on those bones there, on those occipital bones. So it's kind of nice. And also to have your head go in that direction. You could, if this is too much, you could always roll like towels and put them under. But again, our head is so used to going forward nowadays in everyday life. Like, oh, but I know when I've had headaches and it's right, that area gets really tight. I've had other people tell me when they've had like some neck and shoulder issues that it hurts right there and where those bones are, you know, like, oh, whew. And then very carefully, you can grab behind your knees and hug them in, and then carefully lift your head and roll up, or even roll to one side, you know, real gently. And then while we're here, if we want to, because it's a goodie, is roll out the quads in the IT band, which again, don't spend a lot of time. It's just a few moments. And so I like to go on my forearms and come down on my thighs and then roll all the way to not my kneecap, just the top of the above the knee, and then all the way up, and then all the way. You can even go to your hip flexors if you have tight hip flexors and kind of roll right in there. You know, I like to go one side, you know, find where you have your spot. I know for me, it's more like the top of my quad. And then find one side. Ooh, haven't done this in a while. Have to put this back in the repertoire, right? Like everything else. The thing with you when you do these massages too, is not to let your back do this, because then we're kind of killing ourselves. It takes a lot of core work to do these, you know? Like, oh, yes, I have to use my abs to roll. Yeah, and if you want to do a little IT band, gently, you know, nothing too crazy. I only go to the top of my hip. I don't go all the way up on my hip bone, right? Because there's like bursas up in there, and move around the thigh. Ooh. Gonna feel so much better after doing this. I don't know about you, but this is good. Ooh. You can even rock side to side too, right? Find those different ways the fibers go. Like we did with the rotator. Ooh. And then when you're ready, one last thing is to have the roller back out, open the knees, and take the forearms over for a really good child's pose. Make sure no arch, and getting a nice deep stretch. What you can do is play with the hands. You can have palms down and then see if you can have palms face each other, and then even try to have palms up, which is a really hard one to do. You feel this stretch differently. And then go ahead and move it. And then you can go up into like a little down dog if you want. Pedal the knees after that. Take a breath into your down dog. Release your neck and shoulders. Big exhale. Walk your hands all the way back. Hang down, release. You move around a little. Soft knees, abs in as you slowly make your way up. Whew. Take a nice big reach. And again, big reach. Yay! Job well done. Da, 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 da.